We are back with more XLB action as we are here in week number 6. And the action rolls right along as we've got the Santa Fe Rattlers taking on the Louisville Lost Boys. And Santa Fe comes into this week with a record of 1-3, while Louisville sits at 3-1. Louisville in the east, Santa Fe in the west. I know you can't believe it. Maybe you had a map, right? That might help you out, but I control the Rattlers. My brother controls the Lost Boys, so we're both here for this one. Legends for the Rattlers include Nomar Garcia-Parra and Greg Maddox, who will be towing the rubber in the next game for the Rattlers. And for the Lost Boys, it is 2017 Corey Kluber's season and Mark McGuire, who has had a really good year so far here. On the mound today for the Rattlers is going to be Casey Mize from the Detroit Tigers. And for the Lost Boys, it's going to be Justin Verlander, using last season's stats from the San Francisco Giants, as Jazz Chisholm will get this one up and going. The Rattlers got a win last week over the Las Vegas Horsemen, so that was a worst against first matchup, and Santa Fe got the win there. Louisville beat the Toledo Terminators 5-0. So both these teams coming off wins where they scored 5 runs. We'll see what they can do here today. We're at the Boardwalk After Dark here in Louisville, Kentucky, as we get this one officially underway with Chisholm against Verlander. And Verlander will strike out Chisholm to get the action started. Vintage Verlander right off the bat. Michael Garcia up second. And Verlander will get Garcia to pop up to the shortstop. 2 down here in the first for Nomar Garcia-Parra. Nomar. And Nomar will be out of there as he'll line out to third. 3 up, 3 down for the Rattlers, and Verlander gets through the first. Bottom of 1 we go, where Randy Arizarena will lead off against Casey Mize. And Mize will get Arizarena to pop up to the catcher, our favorite card. A lot of catcher action in the XLB. Fernando Tatis Jr. and Mize will get Tatis to ground out to first. 2 down here for Mark McGuire. And Mize will give up a single into right to Big Mac. That's why you don't pitch to him. That's why you don't pitch to him. Big Mac first hit of the day. That'll bring up Shea Langeliers. And Mize will get Langeliers to ground out to first. And that'll do it for the bottom of 1. We're through 1, tied up at 0s, as Kyle Schwarber set to lead off the second. And Verlander will get Schwarber to ground out to first. I'll bring up Pete Crow Armstrong. And Pete will be hit by the pitch.
Curveball got away.
There wasn't a message sent with that one?
No.
Okay. Just making sure.
Verlander doesn't even know who that is.
Oh, dang. Well, he knows now. Pete Crow on first. He'll take off for second. 52. I don't think that's it, folks. Runner out stealing. So Pete gets on. I think he was limping. He got hit in the leg.
Yeah.
Another ring up. Freddie Freeman, 2 down, nobody on. And Freddie will be out of there as he flies out to center. 2-0. Bottom of the third. Zach Neto will lead off. I got confirmation on that name by watching some videos on YouTube. Zach Neto. Not Nito, like you've been calling him all season. And Neto will hit a double into right. After we get
Nito Neto.
Right. Nito Neto.
Is this a night game or a day game?
That's definitely going to change how this team reacts. I think all home games for Louisville are at night. So
That's right.
Zach McKinstry at the plate, 1 on, nobody down. Mize will get McKinstry to fly out to right. Runner will hold. Geraldo Perdomo up. And Mize will give up a single into left to Perdomo. Left fielder for the Rattlers. Cedane Rafaela, he is a T4, which would be 11 to 52.
Try it.
11 to 52 as Neto's going to try and score, and he's going to be in there. Perdomo, the RBI. One on, one down for Ian Happ. And Happ will take a walk. So now 2 on, 1 down for Xavier Edwards. And Mize will strike out Edwards. First strikeout of the day for Mize. 2 on, 2 down for Randy Arizanera. And Randy will strike out. Good number for a hitter card. Just could not come through there. Louisville puts 1 on the board, though. Neto crosses the plate. As we head to the top of 3, let's take a look at the schedule for the XLB this week. 6 games on the docket for this week, which means 2 teams have the week off, and those are the Young Guns and the Purple Rain. Young Guns involved in a trade before the start of the week, sending James Wood to the Las Vegas Horsemen for Joe Adell. So you'll see that later on in the week, but you will not see Joe Adell play this week. So if you're a big Joe Adell fan, I apologize. Not going to get to see him this week.
One hits him, one robs him.
That's right. Well, okay. Michael Harris up to lead off the top of 3rd.
Exactly.
Against Justin Verlander. And Verlander will get Harris to ground out to 3rd. 1 up, 1 down. Cedane Rafaela. Rafaela will strike out. Second strikeout of the day for Justin Verlander will bring up JT Realmuto. And Verlander will strike him out looking. 3 up, 3 down through 3. Bottom of 3 we go. Keep saying 3. Mize will take on Tatis McGuire and Langeliers. And Mize will get Tatis to ground out to 1st. That'll bring up Mark McGuire. And Mize will strike out Big Mac. Third strikeout of the day for Mize will bring up Langeliers. And Mize will strike out Langeliers. Impressive inning there for Casey Mize as he gets 2 strikeouts against this good Louisville lineup to send us to the top of 4, where Jazz Chisholm will lead off for the Rattlers, down by 1 to nothing. And Chisholm will smoke a single into left. First hit of the day for the Rattlers. And Chisholm will take off for second. 23, he's in there. Runner on second now for Michael Garcia against Verlander. And Garcia is out of there as he grounds out to second, air 2 to 10.
Oh my goodness.
But Edwards is an air 1. So no air. Runner to 3rd, though.
Infield is in.
That'll bring up Nomar. Runner on 3rd, 1 down here in the top of the 4th. And Verlander will walk Nomar.
Okay, infield is back.
Second walk of the day after hitting Pete Crow Armstrong in his first at bat. That'll bring up Kyle Schwarber. 2 on, 1 down for Schwarber. PBCD for Schwarber.
No.
And oh yes, a 3-run shot off the bat of Kyle Schwarber. And making Verlander pay for that walk. Nomar and Jazz Chisholm will both cross home.
That was how many home runs?
For Schwarber?
Yeah.
Sorry, that is his first.
Oh.
And a big one for the Rattlers to take the lead now. Still one down with Pete Crow Armstrong at the plate. And Pete will strike out. And throw his bat like he does in real life. They'll bring up Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman, he'll hit a double. Up and over the wall there. Ground rule double. Third hit of the game for the Rattlers, as Freeman's on second for Michael Harris. And Verlander will give up a single into right to Harris.
What?
First hit of the season for Michael Harris. Tatis is T3. Freeman is C. 11 to 66. Freddie will come in. And he's in there. Freddie Freeman will score on the Michael Harris single. It's a way to manufacture that run there, boys. Another ring up Sedan Rafaela. And Sedan will strike out to end the top half of this inning. Fifth strikeout for Verlander, but the Rattlers strike with 4 in the top of 4. As we head to the bottom now, Zachary Neto set to lead off against Casey Mize. And Mize will get Neto to fly out to right. One down here. Zach McKinstry at the plate. Mize will give up a single into right to McKinstry. Fourth hit of the game for the Lost Boys, as they got a runner on base now, and Geraldo Perdomo at the plate. Perdomo will strike out. Oh,
Hey.
I don't think he strikes out often, but he does right there. Mize will get the strikeout.
We're stealing.
McKinstry is going to steal. He is a speed B. 27, I believe he's in there. A or B steals, he is. McKinstry steals second. And they'll bring up Ian Happ. 2 down, a runner on second. And Happ is out of there, as he'll ground out to first. Top of 5 we go. JT Realmuto, the 9-hole hitter, set to lead off here for the Rattlers against Verlander. And Verlander will get Realmuto to pop up to the shortstop. One down, Jazz Chisholm at the plate. And Chisholm will hit a single into right. Fifth hit of the day for the Rattlers. Chisholm will head for second. 38. And he will be there. Second stolen base of the day for Jazz Chisholm. And now a runner on second with 1 down from Michael Garcia. And Garcia is out of there. GX6. No error. Batter out. Runner holds. So 2 down now for Nomar with a runner on second. And Nomar will smack that one up and out of here as well. Nomar Garciaparra, the 2-run shot. Off of Verlander. The Boo Birds out in full force here in Louisville.
Omar's what? How many?
That is Nomar's 3rd home run of the season. A cold-blooded blast for Nomar. His 3rd of the year. And that'll bring up Kyle Schwarber, who homered in his last at-bat. And Schwarber will double into right. What a card.
Let's get through this inning, Justin.
Yeah, 7th hit given up. And now Pete Crow Armstrong is up. And Pete Crow will be out of there as he flies out to right. Verlander gets through 5, but gives up 2 more to make it 6-1 now in the bottom of the 5th, where Mize will go back to work against the 9-hole hitter, Xavier Edwards. And Edwards is going to strike out. Don't generally like to see that PBBD show up in your 9-hole hitter. Randy Arizonera. Mize will get him to ground out back to the pitcher. That could have been unfortunate, but no error. I'm going to bring up Tatis with 2 down now. And Mize will get Tatis to fly out to left. 3 up, 3 down for the Lost Boys. Top of 6 we go. Let's take a look at the MVP race as it comes into this week, which will include Zachary Neto from the Louisville Lost Boys. But I got to tell you, I'm sure Jason would agree, Neto on this, but it sure seems like he is a distant third in this race already behind Walker and Bonds.
Nope.
Okay, so he might be a favorite. But Neto, Kurtz joining the MVP race, but Bonds and Walker, we'll see what they do this week. Both, well, no, the Dairy Daddies will not be playing this week. No, they do. They do, yes. They will play this week. So we'll see if there's any advancement.
Kyle Finnegan coming in.
Kyle Finnegan will check in from the Washington Nationals. And he will take on Freddie Freeman to get the top of the 6th started. And Finnegan will strike out Freeman. Finnegan in for Verlander. That'll bring up Michael Harris, the 2nd. Finnegan will throw a wild pitch. So back we come. Finnegan will get Harris to fly out to deep right. So a home run saving catch made out there by Fernando Tatis Jr. at the wall. Underneath that bridge, that's a terrifying scene out there for outfielders. Ceddanne Rafaela. Finnegan will walk Rafaela. And there was talks that Ceddanne Rafaela was in trade rumors as teams were looking to add James Wood to their roster. Rafaela stays here though, gets on base. It'll bring up Realamuto. Finnegan will get Realamuto to pop up to first. And that'll do it here in the top of 6. Bottom of 6 we go, where Mark McGwire will lead off against Mize. And Mize will strike out McGwire. 7th strikeout for Mize will bring up Shea Langeliers. And Mize will get Shea to ground out to short. And that'll be 2 up, 2 down. We'll bring up Zach Neto. And Mize will strike out Neto. 2 strikeouts here in the inning. Give Mize 8 for the game. And through 6, it is 6-1. The Rattlers out in front with Jazz Chisholm leading off against Kyle Finnegan. Finnegan will get Chisholm to pop up to 2nd. That'll bring up Michael Garcia. Finnegan will get Garcia to fly out the left. A couple pop-outs here to start the 7th inning will bring up Nomar Garciaparra. And Nomar will be out of there as he'll ground out to the catcher in the top of 7. Action in the bullpen for the Rattlers. They trot Mize back out there, though, to take on Zach McKinstry. And Mize will strike out McKinstry. So 3 of the last 4 batters struck out by Mize. Gives him 9 on the game with Geraldo Perdomo at the plate. And Perdomo is out of there as he grounds back to the pitcher. 2 down for Mize and Ian Happ up. Mize will get Happ to ground out to second. And that'll do it. 3 up, 3 down. Mize has been good here in the latter part of this game. Top of 8 we go, where Schwarber will lead off against Finnegan. And Finnegan will get Schwarber to ground out to second. 1 down here in the 8th for Pete Crow Armstrong. And Finnegan will give up a single into left to Pete Crow. First hit given up by Finnegan, and Crow will take off for second. 28, he's in there. Stolen base once again for the Rattlers here as Freddie Freeman's at the plate against Finnegan. 1 down. PDZ, 77. Consult fielding table, 61. Difficult fly to left field if CD 1-2, ball falls for a double and runners score. If CD 3-4, ball is caught and runners hold. Left field, CD 3-4,
Woo!
Ball is caught and runners hold.
Good job, Ian. Good job, Ian.
Flies out the left there. That'll bring up Michael Harris. 1 on, 2 down. Wild, wild stuff there. PBBD for Harris, and he'll strike out to end the top half of 8. Bottom of 8 we go. And oh boy. Jojo Romero will check in for the Rattlers. He'll take on the 9-hole hitter, Xavier Edwards. Jojo will get Edwards to ground out to short. Romero in for Mize here to start the 8th. 1 down. Randy Arizarena. Jojo will give up a single into right to Arizarena.
A steal.
Randy taking off for second. 46. He's in there. That'll bring up Tatis. Now a runner on second against Jojo. And Jojo Romero will get Tatis to fly out to center. 2 down now for Mark McGuire. And Jojo will strike out McGuire. Rough game for Big Mac. Romero gets the out, though, and gets out of the 8th. Top of 9 we go, where Ceddanne Rafaela will lead off against Kyle Finnegan, who's been good in relief. And Finnegan will give up a single into right to Rafaela.
Yeah, broadcaster.
Rafaela will take off for second. 18, he's in there. A, B, or C steals. So we saw this last week against the Horsemen. Jake the Snake said they're going to be very aggressive on the base pass. 4 stolen bases today. And now Rafaela in scoring position for Realmuto. And Finnegan will strike out Realmuto. 3rd strikeout for Finnegan. Runner still on second for Jazz Chisholm. And Finnegan will give up a single into center to Chisholm. That'll bring up Michael Garcia. And Finnegan will get Garcia to ground out back to the pitcher. And that'll be a double play. Thought about stealing and then thought better of it. Wanted to see how it played out. Instead, Garcia grounds into the double play. Romero trots back out for the bottom of the 9th, where he'll get Langeliers. And Romero will get Shea to fly out to center. Bring up Zach Neto. And Neto is out of there.
Of course.
As he pops up to second. That'll bring up McKinstry. And Romero will strike him out looking to end the game. Jojo Romero comes in for 2 innings of relief. Verlander going to get the loss in this one. And Casey Mize, who was good through 7, will get the W. MVP going to be Kyle Schwarber, as he had the 3-run home run that kick-started it for the Rattlers in the top of the 4th inning. This win will move the Louisville Lost Boys to a record of 3-2, where they are now tied for next to last in the division at 3-2, and that'll move Santa Fe up to 2-3, where they are now in the thick of the playoff hunt in the West. And that tells you the difference between the East and the West right now. And that'll do it for this one. Thanks for watching. Tune in for more XLB action as we roll along Week 6.